Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number 145. And my name is Henry. No Chloe still this time around. We should say she is taking a little bit of a break from the show. We hope she comes back soon, but she's taking a little bit of time off. However, joining us for the second week in a row is Jacob Bowers. So Jacob, man, it's great to see you, and thanks for coming back on.
Yeah, not a problem at all. I'm happy to be here.
This time around, we have a review of the Pet Sematary remake from last year, 2019, I believe it was. And then we have a listener question concerning our 2020 Halloween movie picks. And then we have a pick of the week, like I got around to seeing Scoob. After your glowing review of it last week, Jacob, I had to see it for myself. So all the usual stuff. Thanks again for joining us once again. Well, how you doing? How's life?
Well, not much to report between last week and this week. Pretty much just hanging out.
Well, that's cool.
I think I'm going to be watching that new Haunting of Hill House season tonight. Haunting of Bly Manor. Yeah.
Nice. Let me know how that is. I'm very curious.
Yeah, it looks
now,
good.
Were you as big fans of the first season as many people were?
Yeah, were you?
I actually only saw a little bit of it.
Oh, yeah, you're not a TV watcher, right?
No. I did love, he did Dr. Sleep. I did love that, but I haven't seen all of Hill House.
Dr. Sleep was good.
Cool. I guess I'm about the same, just busy. Just been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo recently.
Oh, yeah?
So.
What have you been watching?
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. I'll get into the Scooby-Doo stuff later. Well, Jacob, anything else you want to mention, man, before we jump in?
No.
All right.
Let's get to it.
All right. Well, let's get into our review of Pet Sematary from 2019. And we do have a clip, so take a listen.
Saw these in the trees up there.
Yeah, they're warnings. The local tribes carved them before they fled.
Fled.
Yeah, they knew the power of that place. They felt its pull. They came to believe that those woods belonged to something else. The ground was bad.
Sour. The ground is sour.
Yeah. So they moved on. But not before they built that deadfall. They built it to keep people out, but it didn't keep people out. The Wendigo may just be some crazy folk tale, but there is something up there.
Pet Sematary is now on Amazon Prime. It is directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Weidmeyer. It stars Jason Clarke, Amy Seimetz, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, John Lithgow, Jedi Lawrence, and that's about it. The synopsis is Dr. Louis Creed and his wife Rachel relocate from Boston to rural Maine with their two young children. The couple soon discover a mysterious burial ground hidden deep in the woods near their new home. So this one is, of course, based off the Stephen King novel, and there was a original film back, I guess it was in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, which Stephen King novel? I'm just kidding.
A Pet Sematary. And which, Jacob, have you seen that?
Pet Sematary?
The original.
Oh, the original? No. I actually just saw the remake.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm not qualified to say if it's better or not. So.
Well, we'll get into it a little bit. Right. I'm actually reading the audiobook or listening to the audiobook right now. It's read by Dexter, Michael C. Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pretty interesting. Well, Jacob, you want to kick things off? Are you much of a Stephen King fan?
You know, I don't I feel like I don't really know that much about the guy, you know. Like, I mean, I know like who he is, and I know how famous he is, and like his
You're
body
not
of
drinking buddies.
his body of work and everything. But I haven't read too many of his books. You know, I really, really, really enjoyed the It movies, the new ones. And I have seen the original It as well, which was pretty corny. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know, like I've seen, wasn't Misery a Stephen King?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Do you like Secret Window?
Christine? I haven't heard of Secret Window.
Oh, with Johnny Depp? Oh, you got to get on that.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp. Yeah. I think I have heard of that. I think I saw that in like a Blockbuster when I was a younger
Sounds about right.
lad. Some of our viewers might not even know what a Blockbuster is.
Yeah. R.I.P.
It's true.
Well, what'd you think of this remake?
I think that it tells a story.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen the original, so I don't really. There's not a lot of comparative analysis that I can do, but I mean, it. From what I know of the story, I think that. I just think it's like a pretty standard horror movie, like nothing to write home about, in my opinion. You know, like it's. I enjoyed it, and a lot of people didn't. You know, there's a lot of dissent out there. You know, people are picky, but I mean, I thought it was decently entertaining. I like the concept. You know, conceptually, I like the idea of Pet Sematary. John Lithgow, he's cool.
Great.
You know, so yeah, I don't know. Like maybe, what do you think? Maybe you can talk about it a bit and sort of jog some things out of me.
Sure. Well, I actually didn't see the original until after I saw the remake.
Yeah.
And I like that one a fair bit. I don't love it. I know it's a bit of a cult classic. So I didn't know a whole lot going into this one. I saw it back in the theaters, actually. Overall, I don't really... overall, I don't... oh my God, I can't talk. Overall...
Just go for it, man.
Overall, I don't really like the movie. I think it, as you said, it kind of falls into the pretty standard remake. It's the mentality of here, this very well-known source material is much better and more financially smart, or take on some original story. It doesn't really offer anything new from the original, and what is there is very shallow. I think it's kind of brushes through things very quickly, and by the end, it just turns into a pretty standard slasher. I think the main emotional moment of the movie and the concept of the movie works really well, about someone having to live out the worst case scenario of loss. I think that part of the movie works well. I do like the Pet Sematary visual. However, I think it's so frustratingly underdeveloped. Like the whole funeral procession with the kids, done nothing with. And I think it's almost there for the trailer. Like I remember that from the trailer and being intrigued. But
Definitely.
Then you don't really learn anything about that. And I think it's not horrible. It's not offensive. I'm not upset I watched it, Jacob. I just think it's pretty... it's a stinker.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
I think some people are pretty bracing about it. I like reading reviews of things.
Yeah, me too.
I've got a Letterboxd account. I go on there. I read people's reviews.
Where can people follow you, Jacob?
Oh, they can follow me at Vinny Vidi Vici. That's my name on there.
Yeah.
I don't take too much stock in people's reviews on Letterboxd, and I think people can be pretty picky, pretty pretentious. But sometimes it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got, what was it? Yeah, lifeless regurgitated fluff. About as entertaining as watching one of my 2 Norwegian forest cats open their mouths to expel a long, perfectly formed hairball. Very colorful.
Who said that?
It was shout out to Holly Horror. She's very famous on Letterboxd.
Oh wow. Gotta cite those sources.
If she happens to be listening. She's famous for having watched every single horror movie in existence.
I don't know if I buy that, but okay. But
there's only 8,000 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that many.
Yeah.
Gotta watch The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, like the first horror movie ever made, right?
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the movie, I guess the modern mentality is with films is to either take the story and bloat it beyond belief, or to trim it down to the bare essentials, which both can work in a way. This one tends to cling more towards the latter. It just doesn't offer anything in substitute for what it cuts. And so you ask, okay, are you going to offer updated modern effects, extreme gore? Again, it doesn't really have either of those. So then you are forced to look at the original film, which is better, not a masterpiece, but it is better. And then even just at the source material itself, which is much more fleshed out. From what I haven't finished it, Jacob. I could be telling tales out of school, but it's more meaty.
You haven't finished it?
The audiobook, no. I finished the movie. Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm listening.
No, it's okay. I have about 10 hours left.
Trying to order dinner at the same time.
Oh, what you getting?
Some Panera.
Oh, nice. I like a good panini.
For sure.
What else, Jacob? Anything else come to mind? Do you like Jason Clarke?
Jason Clarke, yeah. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid guy. I'd get a drink with him.
Yeah. Why not? The score is pretty solid.
It one of those movies that I really enjoyed watching the trailer more than the movie.
Very much so.
Movies keep doing that to me these days. They keep pulling the rug out from under me. I see the trailer and I'm like, wow, that trailer was fantastic. What a wonderfully crafted trailer. Dramatic, didn't give too much away, really good mood music, really good scenes picked out, and then you go see the movie and you're like, the hell was that, man? That was nothing. Half the stuff in the trailer is not even there.
Yeah.
It's like, so, it's kind of like they're tricking me into seeing their movie. But I'd watch it again. Maybe that's a hot take, but
yeah, I mean, rewatching it, I wasn't hating myself. It's decently entertaining, but again, I think it's just quite shallow and very few memorable moments, and it just does not explore those ideas well that it brings up. So I do like John Lithgow quite a bit. The girl is good. Jetty Lawrence, she's solid.
The little girl? The little girl that comes back to life?
Yeah. Oh, and the cat is amazing as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of praise for the cat in the 80s one. But, yeah, this one's good, too.
This one's good.
You gotta praise the animal actors. They put the work in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth mentioning. From an atmosphere point of view, it's consistent. Like it creates a good mood for the most part. It's just by the end, you're kind of waiting for something big to happen, something new to shock you, and nothing really does. You know?
Yeah, man. You just think there are animals out there that make more money than we do.
It's very true. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are many, considering my income.
Yeah. There's there's cats and dogs and birds and tigers out there that just making bank.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very, very jealous. All right, man. Well, anything else about Pet Sematary?
No, I feel like I didn't have a lot to say about it, but
No. All right. Well, Jacob, out of 5, I'll go 2.5.
3.
3. All right.
Always the positive person over here.
Yes, I saw your Scoob star rating on Letterboxd.
Oh, was that like a 3 or something?
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
I've sort of fallen into this pattern of like giving most things 5 stars, and then if there's like one thing I don't like, it gets 4 stars, and then everything below that margin is just 3 stars. Unless it's very horribly offensive to me, then it gets like 1 star.
Yeah.
Also, I don't give half-star ratings. It's just it bothers me. I mean, I give half-star ratings, like one, like just a half star, but I don't give 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2. I don't do that because that's it. Just it doesn't feel symmetrical to me. It bothers me.
Purist.
Yeah.
Purist, huh?
It's gotta be whole stars.
Okay, well that's good to know. I did not know that about you, Jacob. I'm glad we've had that out on the show. It's on record.
On the flip side of that, I have a friend who wishes that Letterboxd had star ratings to the 0.1, so that he could give things 1.1 or 1.8 or like 2.12.
It's too bad you can't just do 0 for a movie.
Yeah, it's like, what if something... I guess that's when you just don't rate a movie, you know?
Yeah. Although, I mean, to be fair, a friend of the show, Sky, who has his own show, he does things out of 10. Can't handle it. I still just can't reason with him. Can't do it.
I feel like that's kind of why I give so many things like I don't know. I give a lot of 5-star ratings, but if you asked me, if you took those movies that I give 5-star ratings to and you say, would you give this a 10 out of 10? I don't necessarily know if I would say yes. Somehow like 5 out of 5 doesn't feel the same.
Feels right.
Doesn't feel the same as 10 out of 10 to me. I don't know.
No, I agree.
It's all arbitrary, right?
Yeah, doesn't matter. All right, well, let's get on to our listener questions. So the Film Buds podcast at gmail.com is where you can reach us at. Also, Facebook, Twitter, and Jacob on Instagram at Film Buds.
Instagram now.
Yeah. And so please follow us there if you have not yet. You know, a lot of cool stuff going on. Join the Film Buds mailing list at thefilmbuds.com. It's just 1 email a week, and you can stay up to date with, new shows, all that good stuff. Jacob, I know you're on it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Or you were the last time I checked.
I am. Still am.
Cool.
Today was payday.
It is payday.
So,
yes.
So I might finally get around to getting that Film Buds merch, which everyone should check out.
Wow. Yeah. Film Buds merch at thefilmbuds.com. Check that out. Just goes to help support the show. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/thebuds. So all that cool stuff. All right. Well, so the one we have this week is from Woody. I think we may have actually had one from Woody before. And his question is simple. He says, question, what are your 2020 Halloween movie picks?
Okay.
So
what does that mean?
This one,
like movies that came out in 2020?
No, I think it seems more so. What are you watching? What are you watching around this time?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have much to offer if it's just movies released around this time. Sorry, to break it to you, but-
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah,
Is that all we have? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, as you've said last week, you're watching a lot of horror films on Shudder. Any ones that come to mind?
There's a bunch of new stuff that's been releasing on there that I haven't gotten around to watching, but I pretty much been having a big ole horror movie marathon from like July to current.
Well, what are some ones that stand out?
It's this movie on Amazon Prime called Ganjium Haunted Asylum.
Oh,
it's Korean, found footage, and it's
nice.
it's about a group of Japanese teenagers that are viral video entrepreneurs. They want to become famous live streamers, so they go to this haunted asylum, and it turns out that two of them are like faking the haunting for views, but then it turns into a real haunting.
Right.
Watched the original Poltergeist recently. That
Nice.
was great. Host, that Zoom horror movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Very interesting. This movie called Haunt, which definitely everyone should check out. It's very good. It's on Shudder exclusively, I think.
How much they asking per month? You get a trial? Free trial?
You get a free trial, yeah. Otherwise, $7 a month.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I've definitely gotten some usage out of it. Like, I could go on. I mean, like, I've seen so many movies. This other exclusive movie on there, it's a Spanish movie called Terrified. That's a really good horror movie. I feel like I'm pulling out all these sort of obscure ones. They're like
that's okay. I mean,
I also rewatched Nightmare on Elm Street recently. Like Halloween.
Sure.
Season of the Witch, the best
Classic.
Halloween movie. Yeah. Got in this classic argument with one of my friends about how Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan is his favorite Friday the 13th movie, and I said it sucks because Jason's not even in Manhattan until like 5 minutes at the end of the movie. He spends most of the movie on a boat, and for some reason that pisses him off. I don't know. I'm like, hey man, Jason Takes Manhattan has nothing to do
Chill
with
out.
Manhattan. Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. I'm sorry.
It's not. Relax.
So, Girl on the Third Floor. Gotta check that out.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, the movie's whack.
It seemed whack.
It's pretty wild. I watched that and it gave me a new appreciation for life.
Wow, Jesus.
I was like, I've not seen something that refreshing in a long time. It's just so unique and
Interesting.
so weird and bizarre. Professional wrestler CM Punk starring.
Love him.
It's just something. It's quite something to behold.
Okay, well,
For
I mean,
sure.
I'm very curious now. Actually, I might have to give it a poke.
I'm watching Hellraiser movies, Phantasm movies, Ginger Snaps, great movie. Patchwork, really good movie. It's actually pretty funny too, about a man that kidnaps and murders 3 women and sews them all together
Sounds
to
great.
make the perfect woman.
Sounds delightful, Jacob.
It's better than it sounds. It sounds pretty horrific, but it actually turns out to be pretty funny. And
Okay.
it actually turns out to be very empowering too. You wouldn't think a man kidnapping and murdering women and sewing them together would be very empowering, but
No.
it turns out to be empowering.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. All right. well,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, like,
no.
like I could keep listing them, but that's If you're a horror fan, check out Shudder, because that's most of what I've been watching is on Shudder. I watched your Blu-ray copy of Us, which I still have. What'd
you think?
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah. I liked it a lot as well.
I borrowed that from you just before we went into worldwide lockdown. So
yeah, man. Damn it.
I still have it. But that's
I don't have.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I was just gonna say that's about it for me. So.
Oh, dude, you're fine. You're fine. Well, I'm not someone who really I know some people have 31 days of Halloween, things like that, where they kind of plan out what they're gonna watch. I don't really have that. I'm very much. I decide in the moment. I'm like, oh, hey, I'll rewatch this. I'll watch that. And so, as I said at the top of the show, I've been reliving my childhood here with Scooby-Doo films, mostly from the 90s and 2000s. I highly recommend Zombie Island.
Oh yeah,
the Alien Invaders. Those are both great. Cyber Chase was okay.
Ugh.
Camp Scare, I'm halfway through. It's all right. It's got some cool camp vibes.
I love Cyber Chase.
Yeah. Then the Witch's Ghost. You get the Hex Girls in there. That's pretty cool. So I would highly recommend any of those. Really, it's been very fun to go back and watch those movies over. Other than that, again, I don't have a lot of specific choices. Really, I've been in the mood to watch some Blumhouse movies. Maybe get into some of the ones I haven't seen yet. Some of the shittier ones. There's I haven't seen Truth or Dare or some of the Paranormal Activity sequels, and so I might just kind of break down and watch those.
Blumhouse is so prolific, I guess is the word. They make they're a production company, right? They produce Get Out, and then they produce Truth or Dare. And you're such a qualitative difference there.
Yeah. And even though they're not amazing, I'm a big Purge fan. I like the Purge.
I like
films.
The Purge. I've only seen 2 of them, but what's that? Did that new one come out? How many are there? 4?
4, yeah. And there's a show as well.
There's Purge the Island or something. It was about
that one. Though that one's coming out next year, I think.
Oh, that one's about the conceptualization, the invention of the Purge or something, right?
The most recent one was the first Purge, and that was that was like a prequel, yeah,
right.
And so then the one next year, I'm not totally sure what the story is, but the most recent one was solid.
You see, I don't know. They kind of just got a little crazy. Not that that's bad, but I liked the first 2 because the first one is people locked inside their house on the Purge, and then there's people trying to get in. Very solid concept. And then the second one is just the reverse of that. Someone gets stuck outside during the Purge, which is the other half of it. It's also a solid concept. And then the third one is saving the president. Whoa, what happened? And it's yeah. I was just looking at my diary here on Letterboxd. March 8th, The Invisible Man, the last movie I saw before movie theaters ended.
Yeah. Chloe and I saw that one for the show.
Yeah.
That was the last one we saw. And then I think Underwater was one of the last ones as well.
Had I not seen The Invisible Man, then the last movie I saw in theaters would have been Sonic the Hedgehog. So...
What a brilliant film.
I'm glad I got in where I could. I actually enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog.
Did you? I know a lot of people did.
It defied expectations.
I would love to know what those expectations were.
just that it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It got fairly good reviews. So I'm not, can't pass judgment.
I'm one of those people that I'm suspicious. I think they made that awful Sonic design as a way to generate press, and then they listened to the fans and redid it. I'm making air quotes.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was all a big press thing. Like when have you ever heard of that happening with a movie where they spend like millions redoing something just because people whined about it enough? That never happens. I think it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist, because that is a huge waste of money if that's the case. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, they had me at the Ramones song they play in the trailer, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just remembering all these movies I saw in theaters now. Birds of Prey, Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, man.
God, The Turning. Such a forgettable movie.
I never saw it.
It's you should watch it.
I kind of want to. Weirdly, I know Spielberg executive produced it.
The ending is it's what's going on, man. It doesn't make any sense.
It's a real Purge scenario.
Yeah. It's directed by the woman that did The Runaways.
Oh. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I figure you know what that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess that's about it for the choices. I mean, we could go on and on, but I think that's Jacob's. I mean, giving you plenty. I mean, I haven't seen like any of those, so I'm going to be pretty busy. All right. Well, I guess we can. Well, first of all, thanks again for the email, Woody. And again, the filmbudspodcast@gmail.com is where you can reach us at. So please send us any questions, comments. We love hearing from people. If you've listened to the show for a long time, or if you're a first-time listener, please let us know any thoughts you have about anything, really. Jacob's walking away.
Yeah.
So I guess we can end off with our pick of the week. Jacob, would you like to kick it off, or shall I? Oh, there's your cat.
Yeah. There he is.
Nice.
I haven't actually seen anything since Enola Holmes.
Oh.
But as I said before, I'll be watching The Haunting of Bly Manor tonight.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, I've been pretty locked down, just doing work and
yeah.
Oh, you know that show Glow?
Yeah. Got canceled.
I just watched that like last month. I just finished rewatching all of Community, and I was like, I want to watch something else that has like these actors in it. And I knew that Alison Brie was in Glow, and I was like, I for a long time I was like, I'm just not really that interested in that. I don't know, that doesn't look that interesting to me. But I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, this show's fucking amazing. I was like, I really slept on this show. Like this, like it was so incredibly well crafted, brilliant acting. I don't know how Betty Gilpin was the only person that got nominated for an Emmy all 4 years or all 3 years or whatever, because she's a supporting actress. I mean, I feel like Mark Maron and Alison Brie definitely deserved Emmys. Like it is such a good show, and I was like, I can't wait for season 4. And then they were just like, we're reversing our renewal, and I was like, what is this shit? I was like, Netflix. Like, I was like, the entertainment industry never fails to disappoint me. It's just a bunch of men in suits making terrible decisions.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, look at Dark Crystal last year. I'm pissed. That was like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and they're just like, oh, it's like, because I know they had the first episode of season 4 filmed and ready to go, and they were like trying to, and then the pandemic hit, so they've been trying to sort of find any way to get back to filming, especially because wrestling is such an intimate, thing. Like they'd have to be in very like close proximity. There wouldn't really be an easy way to social distance. It'd just be like very complicated. And so they were like, oh, we'll just cancel it. I'm like, the fuck, like just wait. I mean, like they said that they were concerned that they wouldn't be able to get season 4 up and running until at least like 2022 or 2023, and they figured that like there'd be no viewership at that point, or there'd be no fan base. I'm like, anyone that's watching the show now is going to watch season 4, even if it comes out in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like
that is very bad logic.
You have a built-in fan base. Like, people aren't just going to drop off of being fans of your show just because like people. You put a revival up of something that went off the air 10 years ago, every fan comes crawling out of the woodwork. I mean, I don't know. I just don't get it.
No, you're perfectly right, man. It sounds like baloney.
I will never, ever work in the business sector of entertainment. Like, just a bunch of parasites. That's how I feel.
Well said, man. Well said.
Yeah. So, I was just thinking about that decision recently because it was really disappointing to see that. You know, I wish there was a way for them to, you know, because this isn't the first show this has happened to, obviously, where things have sort of already been in the works, or, you know, stuff's already been filmed and they've just canceled it. You know, they could at least like you think they could at least like release scripts online or something for fans to read, you know, like I imagine they have most of the season written already. So like, you know, like just let us read it. You know, I mean, charge us to read it for God's sake. I don't know. Like, I mean, like if you want to get some money out of it. I know that they apparently paid all the actors for the full season, even though they didn't film it. So they all got paid in full for their season 4 salary.
That's a good deal.
So, man, Netflix though, fuck them.
Kill. Yep.
I hope, you know, maybe they'll buy something from me one day.
Maybe
we'll just have to bury this. But you know,
after listening to this show, yeah.
but fuck them.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm with you there, man.
I mean, I'd love to sell something to Netflix. I think it'd be very easy to get Netflix to buy something because anybody
can do it.
They kind of go nuts over the original content, you know. So
yeah, and they'll just put whatever they want out there. So
and then cancel it.
Yeah.
You know how many things die after one season on Netflix? A lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong.
And then they put movies out there that we talk about, like Enola Holmes.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, Jacob, I mean, thank you for just laying it all out on the table here.
Yeah. Got a little off topic there, but
it's okay. Well, yeah. Well, I guess I've talked enough about Scooby-Doo. So Scoob was not great. Not a good film.
That's what we were on.
Yeah. So I'll talk about. I rewatched The Social Network, which is on Netflix, and there's the new David Fincher trailer for Mank that just came out. Yeah, and that's right. Yeah, I rewatched The Social Network, and it is still just as amazing as it always was. I think it gets better every time. It's electric, dare I say. The score is incredible. Jesse Eisenberg, I don't love him all the time. He is fantastic in this. I mean, and saying all this is what has already been said about the movie plenty, but it's so compelling, so intricate and complex. It's really a fantastic movie and one of my favorites. So if you have not seen it yet, you gotta. Jacob, are you a fan of this one?
Yeah, that's that Justin Timberlake movie, right?
You got it. That's all I was paying attention to.
Yeah, no, I saw that a few years back after avoiding it for a long time. I don't really know why. I just wasn't that. It was just one of those things where I was like, you know, I don't think I'd be into that. And then I watch it, I'm like, oh, you know, how did I miss this? You know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
it's great, man.
It was. I was kind of just expecting it to be like any other. I don't know. I guess you'd call it a biopic, right?
Yeah.
And those typically have like a pretty similar formula, and a lot of them are kind of saccharine, not very good. And I guess I kind of just expected it to be like that, but actually, you know, I mean, it's Fincher, man. I don't know. I underestimated him. So
you can't do that.
Yeah, because he kind of avoided the biopic formula. He made a really solid, just like movie. Like, you know, it had like a filmic structure. It wasn't just like this sort of semi-fictional biography. I mean, like it was, but like it didn't come off that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You wanna do a Scooby-Doo special show?
Please, I would love to
review all those movies.
I would love to, honestly. I mean, they're fun, a fun time, so I would be all for it. All for it.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, like, we're just gonna do like
we could pick and choose,
like the standard ones, you know, because
the classics.
Yeah, because you have like the classic set, but then you have like the ones with Scrappy Doo in them, which are like a different set, and then you have Cybertrace was like the beginning of the end for like the next 100 Scooby-Doo movies. You know, there's like the WWE Superstars Scooby-Doo with John Cena.
Yes.
You know, it's it gets crazy.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm living it right now, man. But no, I would honestly, I would love to. So we'll have that one. We'll give people a little teaser of that, you know, for what's to come. All right. Well, I guess that's about it for me, Jacob, man. Anything else you want to mention?
No.
All right. Cool. So I guess that about does it for the show this week. Now, next week, I'm not totally sure. Jacob, you're welcome to come back on. Love having you on, man. And so not totally sure just yet about what film we're going to be doing. We may try and stay on the horror train for the time being. And so, yeah, just stay updated on social media, all that good stuff. And again, thefilmbuds.com. You get on that mailing list if you haven't yet. It's really cool. Okay, well, Jacob, man, you know, as always, it's nice to see you. It's great having you on. And I hope you come back soon.
Yeah. I hope to
Heck
be
yeah,
back.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, a little easier to log on to Zoom than to drive on out to Hillsborough, so...
It is. Which let me say, I very much appreciate when you have done that. I know it's a bit of a drive, so...
Not a problem.
All right, well, everybody, we sure hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we'll see you next time.